In Japanese, Ukiyo-e literally means pictures of the floating world. Flourished from the 17th through the 19th century, this Japanese art genre depicted the sensory pleasures of urban life and remind us of the fleeting worldly delights. Their subjects include beautiful women, actors, historical scenes, nature, and landscape. The landscape genre later dominated the Western world perception of Japanese art. However, it actually appeared relatively late in the 19th century. This video is about two prominent artists of the landscape genre and the tea house in their arts. Utagawa Hiroshige I was born in 1797 and was a student of the Utagawa school. What made his print unique was his portrayal of the mundane everyday life, rather than the grandiosity seen in previous landscape arts. His subject were travelers inside the roadside sceneries along the way, which brought this traveling experience to the ones who could not otherwise afford it. His more famous work include the series City Art Province of Japan, which has the print we are looking at today, Mount Asama, Teahouse on the Mountain Pass. The other artist, Hiroshige II, were considered the best student of Hiroshige I and inherited the namesake after his master's death. However, many critics consider him to be a minor artist who could not generate his own style, as his prints were hardly indistinguishable from those of his master. He produced many series depicting Edo, one of which is the 36 Views of Eastern Capital, and the print Naganosho in the Yoshiwara belongs to this series. Here are the two prints of interest. Ise Province, Mount Asama, Tea House on the Mountain Pass, dated in 1853, depicting the sunrise in the chashitsu on the way to Ise Grand Shrine, one of the holiest and most famous Shinto shrines. Chashitsu is the common name for all architectural structure designed to have a tea ceremony. The section closer to the trail of the chashitsu is open wall, allowing guests to drink tea while staring at the sea and enjoying the surrounding mountains. The other section is mostly covered by wooden walls, upstairs also covered by windows to provide more security, maybe for overnight stay. The contestants working at these chashitsu were not so aggressive. They greeted and talked to the guests, but often no additional services were given. Display were considered so sacred and pristine that any extravagant movement were discouraged. There were hardly any interactions among the quiet travelers who just traveled overnight and arrived here at dawn before setting again for the rest of the trip to Ise Grand Shrine. Even now today, the shrine remains as one of the holiest, most important, and remotest Shinto shrines in all of Japan. Being a pilgrim was something arduous and luxurious, but it was an urge of the commoners to leave this familiar human world, embark on something new, and stay outside of the strict social order. Hence, imagining being in this chashitsu brings the audience a sense of both natural beauty and contemplative purity, giving people a chance to momentarily escape reality. On the other hand, Naganosho in the Yoshiwara depict a scene of the ochaya along the street of the famous red light Yoshiwara district of Edo, current-day Tokyo. Ochaya is a derivation of the tea house that does not only serve tea, but also parties, banquets, and other forms of entertainments for its customer, including sex. The whole new Yoshiwara district was constructed after the Great Edo Fire in 1657 with rows of analogous-looking brothels. Naganosho Boulevard was famous for its springtime festival, when potted cherry blossoms were brought in and bloomed all over the street. Its beauty was depicted by many Japanese poets and artists. The cherry blossoms, its softness and claw-like shape are similar to the contestants' beauty and springtime youth, and they also considered this festival as an opportunity to show themselves to the greater world and to be a part of it. At the time, the Western concepts of love and freedom were first introduced to Japan, and inside a society that still strictly followed family-arranged marriage, ochaya on brothel streets, such as Naka-Ocho, that welcomed not only the elites but also the commoners, became an erotic dream, a place where man could pursue his love and desire, an enchanted escape that crushed the social rules and class order. Putting the two prints in their historical and social context, they were both created in the final years of the Edo period and the start of the foreign warships' intrusion into Japanese water. It was the start of the turbulence and chaos after a very prolonged pre-food period. Hence, Despite depicting the different meanings and usages of the tea houses, these two prints essentially serve the same purposes: to lure the audience away from their mundane and full of worrisome daily lives, and to construct alternatives filled with happiness and liberation, such as Ukiyo-e, pictures of the floating world.
君の全然前世から僕は君を探し始めたよ。その不吉祥な笑い方をめがけてやってきたんだよ。君が全部なくなってチリチリになったってもう迷わない、また一から探し始めるさ。むしろゼロからまた宇宙を始めてみようか。話すかな、君が眠っていた間のストーリー。何億何光年分の物語を語りに来たんだよ。けどいざその姿この目に映すと、君も知らぬ君とじゃれて戯れた日よ。君の消えぬ痛みまで愛してみたいよ。銀河何個分かの果てに出会えた、その手を壊さずどう握ったならいい。君の全然前世から僕は君を探し始めたよ。その騒がしい声と涙をめがけやってき